everyone, Jigs BL here with a brand new movie review and also thoroughly trying to break down and summarize when it comes to Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the movie. That is right, I finally saw it this past weekend on a Saturday with one of my best buddies known as Backtramp, and also I'm going to have to give a brief summary on my experience when it comes to the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. Long story short, I played this when I was very young and still have it to this very day, and luckily still have my PS2. And luckily, I have at least some of the other games that I played when it comes to the PS3 and also on the PS4. I have the likes of Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 on the PS3, and I even own the likes of Sonic Generations on the PS3, and even the likes of Sonic Mania Plus on the PS4. So yeah, I at least dabble on the 2D Sonic games, but I love the Sonic 3D games for the most part. And which, I gotta say this right now, I'll die on this pedestal for Sonic 06, damn it. I don't care what anyone says, I am neutral on it. I love what it was trying to go for, so bite me, alright? Bite me when I say that, okay? But moving on from that though, I've also seen the likes of Sonic X, finally saw Season 3, and even saw like, apparently it's infamous, The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, in which I loved watching when I was a kid. And I finally got to see this in this very decade, very strangely, I may say, that is Sonic's Atom, aka Sonic the Hedgehog, the animated series that appeared on Saturday morning, in which I did not see as a kid at all, but I finally saw it, and I only have some personal gripes with it, but luckily it's only like 2 personal gripes, okay, in which I will mention later on for a very good reason when it comes to the review. So let's get right to it, shall we? Now, what can I say about Sonic the Movie 2? Oh yeah, when it comes to the first one, in which I seen, which sadly I won't give that much a review to it, right? But yeah, let's remember this. Apparently Sonic was supposed to look vastly different, have something that looks similar to a Super Saiyan, and have a Chaos Emerald that very early, and has Gangsta's Paradise, and also the Meow. I think they still have the Meow in there, right? for the majority of the movie. But anyways, at least they made a huge step up and changed that direction. So on how that movie turned out, well, it turned out pretty well. If Sonic 2 was a greenlit at all. So yeah, that movie was so basic and simple and fun and decent. So yeah, I'm glad that that movie turned out pretty well, so that way this movie can exist, right? So let's all appreciate that just for a little moment of silence here. Moment of silence is done. Now, the other thing I do want to say though is that like this movie is basically 3 video games as a blueprint, which is of course Sonic the Hedgehog 2, in which introduces both Tails and Knuckles, but also when it comes to the likes of the Chaos Emeralds, right? If I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, who knows, right? Like I said, I only dabbled into the 2D games and know a little bit more with the Sonic 3D stuff that I'm familiar with, alright? And then we get into Sonic Adventure, in which they gave us, this movie really gave a more adventurous take, unlike with the first movie. So I really applaud for that, and especially seeing a reference that he does when it comes to the front cover of Sonic Adventure, that's pretty cool. That's really pretty cool, and especially you get to see a little bit more of an in-depth take on the Sonic lore when it comes to the Chaos Emeralds and the Master Emerald, which is what Sonic Adventure, the first one, was. Despite it had like Tikal in there and even like the Chaos creature itself, but this one, I like how they do it here to be in its own merit. And when it comes to Sonic Heroes, it gave a very similar climax. Despite me not finishing that game by any means, luckily YouTube exists for me to like see how that climax turned out, and oh boy. So Team Sonic takes on a robotic kaiju, which is basically, you know, like at least in Sonic Heroes, it's Metal Sonic that turned into like a giant robotic monster. Like that's why I say robotic kaiju. And in the movie, you get to see Eggman. Jim Carrey's Eggman infused himself with the Chaos Emerald using green electrical powers to conjure up a giant tornado that you've seen from the movie trailer, in which I was wondering as to why, but he uses that electrical tornado to bring all these robotic and mechanical pieces and gears to form a giant Eggman robot. And he's not even controlling it like by hand. Technically speaking, is fingertips with the electrical power. So I'm like, okay then. And by the way, his voice was pretty creepy when he infused himself with the Chaos Emerald. So I'm like, okay then. Yeah, this is one of the rare occasions where I get creeped out from like family-friendly and kid-friendly stuff. So kudos to them. All right, it worked, guys. It worked. Right, you make me look like a wuss. But anywho's, yeah, I thought that was very interesting that they took 3 games, not just 1, not just 2, but 3, as blueprints to make it as its own story, in which I really applaud for it. And I gotta say, it was executed pretty well. And especially that they gave Knuckles a backstory and even a motivation. One of my favorite characters, if I say so myself. Apparently, Tails is a fan favorite among the fan base and also casual fans out there. Two of my best buddies, Mac Tramp and Sentry, loves Tails. Me, on the other hand, I love not just Sonic and not just Rouge the Bat, but also Knuckles, my boy Knuckles. Apparently he's been done dirty for the past few years by being treated as a joke, as a big meathead, and I'm glad he doesn't get treated as such in this one, because he does seem to wise up later on. And apparently when it comes to Sonic X, of all things, and especially in the video games, is that he keeps on getting tricked by Eggman, because Eggman keeps on doing this sob story like, oh, don't worry, Knuckles, I'll change. Please give me this chance. I'm really gonna change. I hope they don't do that again. Alright, I'm getting fed up with that. And you have no idea when it comes to like watching season 3 go, man, especially from Sonic Adventure, on how Knuckles keeps on falling for that. Like, Knuckles should have known better, if I'm being honest. He should have known better, by any means, okay? Knuckles is my favorite character, and he should no longer be treated as a joke anymore. And I'm glad that Idris Elba delivers that, alright? And when it comes to Tails fans, my 2 best buddies, especially Mac Tramp, really love on how Tails worked out in the movie. And not gonna lie, when it comes to like a very best buddy type of adventure, not gonna lie, I really had like a very a heartwarming moment of what happened in the movie. I thought what they did with the chemistry between the platonic chemistry that is with Sonic and Tails, that it was handled so well. All right, and now to keep on, I need to mention this. Of course, there's that wedding subplot going on there, in which I'm on a neutral stance, in which I have no problem with it. Like, I'm not bothered by it. To me, it makes sense why they did it, and especially to be a little convenient, if I'm being honest. All right, but I will tell you this though. Okay, I already don't like this character, and her name is Rachel. Like the one who's about to be happily wed because she got tricked by the gun agency. Emphasis on gun agency. Yeah. That I am actually was intrigued. I think that is one of the few things that the Sonic franchise even has. That very government agency gun. So yeah, we're gonna be seeing a certain someone in a follow-up, especially if you've seen the end credit scene, guys. Oh boy, and especially that's already floating around on YouTube. So yeah, be aware, guys, if you don't want to be spoiled. All right, but it's not gonna be here, okay? Just to clarify that. But anywho, I do need to mention on how the setting, tone, and writing turned out, in which, for me, it was handled very well, and it's how Sonic the Hedgehog should be. Because I mentioned like Sonic X, right? In which like it was going for more of a balanced tone, trying to like both have like a little bit of a dark tone, but also be silly and wacky and radical at the same time, but also still be like slice of life, which is something that Sonic the Hedgehog should be, having a balance of everything. Okay, not just like a very dark narrative coming from both Sonic 06 and even the likes of Sonic Satam. Yes, that was one of my personal gripes with Sonic the Hedgehog. Taking a more dark narrative, like they give it more of a dark tone, in which, not gonna lie, not only it took me out of it, it's the fact that like Jalil White was voicing Sonic still, and which I'm like, he voiced as the Looney Toony version from the Avengers Sonic the Hedgehog. So yeah, that actually really took me out of it, guys. So that's two things. So yeah, if you're gonna be blaming anyone, maybe blame me on how I initially think about how Sonic should operate when it comes to storytelling. But with Sonic X, despite how executed it was, but I know what tone and setting and writing is trying to go for, got nicely translated into this movie, and it was more thought out. And thank goodness for that. Really, thank goodness, because apparently both Sonic 06 and Sonic's of Time think that like Sonic deserves a more dark storytelling for some reason. As much as I love Sonic 06 myself, yeah, it went for a more dark narrative route, like that very take, in which it doesn't suit him, and especially the type of world building they gave, it looks more like Final Fantasy levels. I won't kid myself, but I really love the villains it had, like when it comes to Mephiles, and especially the monster kaijus it had there known as Iblis. It was very interesting to me, but sadly, it did not turn out too well for how Sonic was trying to go for it in terms of storytelling, okay? In terms of tone and setting, if that makes any sense to anyone. So yeah, that atmosphere from Sonic the Hedgehog to the movie really sets the perfect tone for it, at least in my own knowledge and perspective on how I see things right here. All right, so I don't know how any way I can paraphrase this, but I thought that was amazing. All right, but when it comes to the music though, in which I'm not gonna go too long on this one because I'm gonna be ending things shortly here, in which I'm like, the music is not too bad by any means, but of course they're throwing in some like pop culture, mainstream type of music, in which, not gonna lie, I kind of dig some of it that was thrown in here. Others maybe not so much, but I thought it was nice to throw in that Sonic ringtone in the movie. You've seen it from the movie trailers, and you're going to be seeing it here, in which I'm like, got me to thinking, maybe, who knows, maybe for future Sonic movies, they might add in, the original soundtracks from the video games, but to be more cinematic in a sense. But it may not bother me, but it may bother some people. I actually seen some reviews, one of them being like James Wolfe, like AVGN, right? In which I started recently watching that, like, he actually took an issue with the music thing, in which I could kind of see where he's coming from. For me, I'm on a neutral stance on the whole music stuff, but I can see people like him where he is coming from. So if there's any people like you out there, I can kind of understand here, and especially when you hear like music like freaking Pantera that Jim Carrey Eggman was having fun with when he was going all like robotic kaiju on a small town, But hey, like I said, the movie turned out pretty excellent, at least to me. Some of the humor may be a little bit hit or miss to some people, but hey, I thought it was handled well though. So yeah, that's all I had to say. What do you guys honestly think? Are you guys actually looking forward to a Sonic 3 and how it will turn out? For me, once it will be put out, I can't wait to see a certain someone to pop out. But also, I just wonder how they're going to handle Rouge the Bat though, considering how she looks like, I wouldn't mind if, you know what, I'm just going to stop right here because I think I should save that type of topic for another time. So yeah, this has been Jigsby saying off right now. It's in transmission, out.